How to invest your marketing dollars in a bad economy. So if you feel as if the demand is beginning to shrink up a little bit in your industry and you financially are able to weather, let's say, a bad economy storm, what I would do is reallocate your money to fortify the castle. How do you fortify your castle? The fastest way to fortify your castle is to take a look at your sales process and identify, is marketing really helping out your sales process? Is it supporting sales all the way through from the entrance of the pipeline out of the pipeline? When things are going good, you're not going to really notice a problem, and things are going good because you have a lot of demand coming in. When things aren't going so good, that's where you're going to start noticing holes in the pipeline. So preemptively, what you can do now is go in and plug those holes. Well, how do you do that? You identify where marketing should be helping out sales, and you identify potential assets that you should be purchasing or creating that's going to help an individual who's maybe at certain stages or at a certain point in a pipeline to try to walk through the pipeline. So things you can do when you're trying to fortify the castle by looking at your sales process. Assets you should be evaluating and reviewing. Maybe look at your website. Maybe your website needs to do a little bit more for a visitor coming to your website repeatedly because they're thinking about buying your service. Maybe you need to have downloadable PDFs. Maybe you need to have video on the website. Maybe you need to have like an e-com section of your site where they can come in and purchase it. So really evaluate your website and say, is now the time for me to investing in a new website that meets the modern potential buyer? Another thing could be to help out sales where, are you currently running an email drip campaign? So if a lead goes into an actual CRM, Salesforce, or so forth, do you have an actual email drip campaign going out to them where this prospect is actually getting an email once every couple weeks? If you know a sales team is out there and they are actually close to closing a deal or they're about to interact with a new business, are you geofencing them with potential ads? Things along those lines, and then the assets you would need to actually market in that capacity, what do we need to create? So do we need to have like an entire email campaign creative for us designed and launched? Do we need to have really creative, good ads in which we can use for geofencing? What type of assets should I be putting on my website that individuals will be looking at? This is where you want to start shifting your ad dollars over. So you want to move away from like a Google AdWords, move away from say Facebook and LinkedIn leads, and saying now's the time to take a step back, fortify the castle, and say we're going to invest in these types of things. The other thing you can do that I like clients to do in a bad economy or if things are kind of pulling back a little bit, start looking at different platforms. Start looking at growing platforms. We all know the competition on Google. We all know the competition on LinkedIn, but don't be afraid to have somebody at work, whether it's your marketing manager or even your agency, dip your toe in. Take a look at TikTok. Take a look at Snapchat, maybe Twitter, a little extreme there. But see what they can do. Are your clients on there? Is there something to be thinking about maybe as the economy gets better, or is maybe my buying demographics getting a little younger? Maybe they are over looking at this type of stuff. That's the type of things you want to do in a bad economy. So fortifying the castle, taking a look at new platforms, so when the economy does get better, you're not buried in a customer acquisition cost where you're trying to say, oh my God, we have to fortify the castle, we need this type of asset, that type of asset, and then you find yourself falling behind. So basically it's time to regather everything up so you can launch again when the economy gets better.